You ever find yourself struggling to build one of those long, impressive English sentences? You've got the words, you think you know the grammar, but it all just feels like a messy puzzle. Well, what if I told you the secret isn't about memorizing more rules? What if it's about changing just one little thing, the way you think? Let's dive in.
So why is it so confusing, right? You spend all this time learning grammar, you build up your vocabulary, but when you try to piece it all together into a nice, long sentence, it just feels clunky. It feels less like speaking and more like you're trying to solve some kind of complicated math problem.
Well, here's the thing. The secret isn't about cramming more rules into your brain. The confusion actually comes from a really basic difference in how languages are built, a totally different way of thinking. It's not that one way is right and one is wrong. It's just about seeing the architecture from a brand new angle.
Okay, so it all boils down to this one key difference: focus. A lot of languages, like Korean for example, are what you could call relationship-focused. They set the scene first, establishing the connection between the subjects, like I and you, and then they get to the action. But English? English is subject-focused. It throws the main character on stage first and then explains their story from there.
Let's really break this down with a super simple sentence. I adore you. This is how English thinks. It's like a story unfolding. Step 1. Who's the main character? I. Okay, got our hero. Step 2. So what's this character doing? Adoring. Got it. And step 3. Who or what are they adoring? You. You see that? Each word just answers a question about the word that came right before it. It's a chain of explanation, always moving forward.
And that right there is the big secret. You gotta stop treating English sentences like a formula you have to solve. Instead, think of them like a story that you're telling, one little detail at a time, always moving ahead.
All right, let's try this out. We're going to build a sentence right now using this storytelling method. So we start with our main character and their action. I visited. Simple enough, right? But your brain immediately starts asking questions, doesn't it? Visited? Where? The pastry shop. See how that works? We're not looking up a rule, we're just adding the next logical piece of the story. Each new bit of info directly explains the part that came just before it. Okay, so we've got the where. What about the when? Yesterday. The story is getting more and more clear. And notice, we're not thinking about complex grammar, we're just adding the next detail in the sequence.
But, the big question is why? Why did I go to the pastry shop yesterday? To purchase a treat. Now we have the motivation. It's all part of the story. Let's add just one final layer to this.
For what specific purpose? For my sibling's birthday. Boom, there it is. A complete, detailed sentence. And we didn't build it from some complicated formula, we just told it, one sequential step at a time. This is the logic.
Now, what's really cool is that this logic, this storytelling flow, it works no matter what words you use. Take a simple phrase, I missed the train. Now a more complex one, I failed to catch the subway. It sounds fancier, sure, but guess what? The thinking behind it is exactly the same. Who? I. What happened? Failed. Failed at what? To catch the subway. It's the same sequential story, just with different vocabulary.
Okay, you ready to level this up? Because this next part is a real game changer. What if I told you that any noun in your sentence can become its own little main character with its own mini-story? This is where we get into the power of what I call the noun explainer.
So what is a noun explainer? It's literally just any bit of information that you stick right after a noun to tell us more about it, to explain it. This is the key to creating those really rich, descriptive sentences without ever feeling lost.
Let's see it in action. Here's our main character, our noun, the individual. Right now, this person is a total mystery. Who on earth are we talking about?
So right away, we can drop in a noun explainer to clear things up. Which individual? Oh, the one residing in the neighboring house. We didn't need a new sentence. We just put the description right there, immediately after the noun it's explaining. And again, just like we saw with the train example, this works whether your language is simple or complex. You could say, the man who lives next door. Simple enough. Or you could say, the individual residing in the neighboring house. Sounds way more formal, right? But look at the structure. It's identical. In both cases, we introduce the noun, man or individual, and then immediately follow it with an explanation of who that is. You're not memorizing word order, you're just explaining your noun.
Let's look at a few more real quick. The commitment. A commitment to do what? To get a dessert. Or the decision. What decision are we talking about? The decision to quit the job. How about the book? Which book? The one placed on the desk.
In every single one of these, that second part is just a mini story explaining the noun that came right before it.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, it's a huge mental shift. It's your chance to move away from just memorizing abstract rules and toward actually, creatively, and confidently building sentences on your own.
So let's just quickly recap the whole thing. First, you've got sequential explanation. Just start with your subject and tell the story moving forward. Second, noun explanation. Use any noun you want as a jumping-off point to add more details. And finally, and this is the most important one, the mental shift. Stop thinking word order and start thinking explanation order.
Look, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this, seriously. Stop memorizing. Just start with a main character. Any noun will do, and just add the details, one by one. Like you're telling a great story.
See, this way of thinking really puts you in the driver's seat. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to try out for yourself. What's the first long sentence you're going to build, not by worrying about rules, but just by telling a story, one little detail at a time?